Hi everyone, I'm U.S. Senator Tina Smith. I want to thank the Coalition to End Social Isolation and Loneliness for inviting me to speak with you about this incredibly important topic, and I wish that I could be with you all today in person. So I approach this work from the belief that every person deserves to live a happy and fulfilled life. Human beings are wired for connection. We crave community, and supporting people who are socially isolated, helping other people find connection, well, that connects us to our humanity. And this contributes not only to our sense of mental well-being, but also our physical health. As a member of the Senate Health Committee, I've sought out ways to address loneliness across the age continuum. When I first started working on this in the Senate, I was told you can't legislate away loneliness. And I thought, well, that's kind of ridiculous, because there is so much that we can do to address the underlying causes of social isolation and loneliness. And there are so many ways that the federal government can support communities, from Meals on Wheels to supporting caregivers and community groups that help facilitate connection and address loneliness. I've been able to work on legislation that does just that. My bill, the Older Americans Social Isolation and Loneliness Prevention Act, that bill was enacted with your help in 2020. We also worked together to enact my bill called Strengthening Social Connections Act. And as part of the American Rescue Plan in 2021, we got that done. But our work, it isn't done yet. I will continue working on addressing social isolation and loneliness in people of all ages and from all backgrounds. This year, the Older Americans Act needs to be reauthorized, and a key part of this legislation involves how to address social isolation and loneliness among older Americans. You know, I often say that the best ideas come from those closest to the issue, and so I've spent the past few months hearing from providers and recipients across Minnesota about how this legislation is providing critical support for aging Minnesotans and how critical connection and community is for their well-being and resilience. Together, your advocacy will help us pass a version of the Older Americans Act that will ensure all Americans have the resources to age with dignity and in community with others. So it takes all of us to tackle the issue of loneliness and isolation, and I congratulate you all on your ongoing efforts to make sure that everyone can live a life full of connection and community. Thank you for letting me speak to you today, and have a great rest of your time in Washington.